It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the First News newspaper. 2023, after Obasanjo, Obi, Atiku meets Wike, PDP governors in London. 2023, after Obasanjo, Obi, Atiku meets Wike, PDP governors in London. You find the details on the front page of the First News newspaper. To the Nigerian News Direct now, struggle to woo Wike, Atiku strikes meeting in London as Obi, Obasanjo others meet Wike. Struggle to woo Wike, Atiku strikes meeting in London as Obi, Obasanjo others meet Wike. Details on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To this Nigerian newspaper now, 2023, Atiku finally meets Wike in London. Inside source, nothing concluded. Discussion continues. Also, Obasanjo leads Obi to meet Rivers Governor Ikpeazu Duke or Tom Makinde in UK. To the blueprints now, towards 2023. Wike turns beautiful bride, meets Obi, Atiku, OBJ in London. Party joins APC, PDP, and Atiku urges supporters to avoid bickering, divisive comments. Tinubu, Asiwaju, Lawan, Amechi, 19 others to meet in Abuja. The details on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. To the Daily Sun now, suspense increases as Wike Obi meet Obasanjo in London. Rivers Governor Atiku also. Wike others won't ditch party. PDP speaking. All right, to the Vanguard now. 2023, Obasanjo, Obi, Wike, Duke. Others meet in London as Atiku finally meets Wike in London. All right, to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Obasanjo, Obi, Wike, Makinde or Tom others meet in London. Fintiri joins Atiku to meet Wike others as ex-VP calls for ceasefire among supporters. All right, on the front page of the Punch, UK peace meetings. Atiku seeks Wike's support. Obasanjo pushes Obi's agenda. The details on the front page of the Punch newspaper. To the Nation now. Asiwaju, Lawan, Amechi, 19 others to unite for Tinubu. Ex-APC presidential aspirants to meet in Abuja next week. Kelly?
Daily Trust is next. 2023, be responsible, put Nigeria first. Jonathan tells politicians, urges citizens to vote right leaders. Be responsible, put Nigeria first. Jonathan tells politicians. And Business Day stays with 2023 celebrities, influencers in race to turn followers into voters. Should be an interesting read. Celebrities, influencers in race to turn followers into voters. And away from Business Day, the Daily Times is next. It says insecurity, 137 borders in Nigeria are unguarded. 137 borders in Nigeria are unguarded. Well, that's the Chief of Defense Staff there speaking. We discussed this earlier on as we started the show. And the Nature News gets our focus next. It says 2060 net zero target. World Bank, UK Exim Bank, pledged $3 billion to power reforms in Nigeria. World Bank, UK Exim Bank pledged $3 billion to power reforms in Nigeria. 2060 net zero target. Well, that's Nature News.
All right. Let's turn our attention now to one of the major stories that made headlines across a majority of the papers this morning, talking about the struggle to woo the beautiful bride in person of Wike, Governor of Rivers State.
Nyesom Wike. Now, it's very interesting. There are a lot of subscripts to this story. You have the fox, and then you have the tortoise. You know, the fox is Obasanjo. And, you know, the old folks, they say that one thing with the old folks is that if you put a trap there, it will dodge. And, but it's always around. And it's dangerous. But Obasanjo has also taught this because there's no story in Nigeria that you will not find Obasanjo there. Like, you know, when we're growing up in folk tales, every story there must find a tortoise.
Always present.
Tortoise is no good. The fox, of course, a fox is always looking for something to consume and to kill and to destroy. So that is it. Then you have the story of the beautiful bride, which is Wike. Wike has so much solid the atmosphere for PDP that I don't see anywhere where there can be peace between Wike and the Atiku people.
Why?
Because there is so much bad blood. So even if they come together and there will be mutual suspicion, too much has been said, too much has been done, that it is difficult, just like a couple that you want them to reconcile. Both of them have said too much against each other and in public.
Is this because yes, the matter has dragged on for too long? Look at what Wike has said. Look, there are so many people he has fought with. He has abused, and they have abused him in public. And we want to see how they can come together. What I see here is that, you know, people who, the psychologists have said that, and even sociologists and political pundits have always argued that there are two kinds of dialogues of this kind when you want to negotiate. You have the psychiatric one and you have the theocratic one. The psychiatric one is that, okay, let us meet. The meeting itself is end in itself. It's not about, okay, we'll meet now. It's just like the man who came yesterday to talk about play 2. And he said, well, Husseini and Jam. They have met with Bukola, they have met with Wike, they have met with Bukola Saraki, they have met with party men, all of them, and the matter is still there. So there is psychiatric. Then there is the theocratic meeting, where you know that the person you are meeting with is an infidel. It's on the other side. So nothing only good can come out of any kind of meeting and a resolution. So what becomes a theocratic one ends up as a psychiatric one. So it's a psychiatric case we are seeing in the Nigerian political atmosphere where politicians are playing the game of photo ops and what the novelist Sam Ben Usman calls the perfidy of words and the hypocrisy of rivals. But then there are those who are hoping or who are hopeful that something will come out of something would give at this meeting, so to speak, to move forward, because this has dragged on for too long. Like he said, there's bad blood. Perhaps that bad blood wouldn't have been as bad as it is if this matter had been resolved as early, as quickly as possible.
Yes, Veronica, I mean, we all have said it on this table that this has lingered for too long. It's beginning to look like there is something more between these two. I mean, but finally, they have met, as one of the paper captures it. Finally, they have met, even though, according to the same paper, the sources says nothing was concluded. So
discussion continues.
Discussion continues. So I'm wondering, so when you met, and in the end, I wonder, but you know, I'm just wondering too, why are they even meeting outside the shores of Nigeria?
Because they don't want
are they meeting in France and UK? Is it that there's something more?
There's extra money to spend.
It's leisure. You know, does it also confirm some of the insinuations or perhaps speculations of the fact that the UK plays a very critical role in who emerges as the president of this country? Perhaps is that why the meeting is
not necessarily.
There are speculations.
No UK person there.
So there are speculations. I mean, it's there. So I'm just trying to look at that and perhaps wondering why they are meeting outside. But as we also said, and I'm also looking at the fact that, okay, what if Wike is also trying to play in between the two camps, PDP, APC, which will probably
LP,
favor him.
And even LP. Forget that Obi is there.
Yeah.
And which will favor him. So perhaps he's also just standing somewhere in the middle and trying to see, where do I pitch my tent? It's all about interest for these politicians, mind you. So it's where am I guaranteed a future? I mean, I didn't get the candidacy. I'm not going for the Senate. So what's next for me?
I think part of it is that the part of it we have not discussed is the role of bees playing in all of this. When we have the tortoise, and we have the fox, and we have the beautiful bride, and also you have the wannabe. That's Obi, and Obi doesn't have.
I thought you probably.
It was big. He has been saying that the people are a structure, but if by going to meet all these people, went to meet Obasanjo and Ota. And then from there, they went to London. And Obi has no governor. He met with Ferry an outlier in Yoruba land. He has no governor. He has no senator. He has no House of Rep. He has no local government chairman. He has no ward chairman. And he said the people are his structure. But even then, he wants to go. He wants big names around him. He wants because Obi is actually a PDP man, or Abga. Well, he swore with his father, with his wife, and so on, that if he left, that he could never leave Abga. You know, we have known that Obi many times says one thing, and the facts are actually different. And so Obi is trying to mix with the big boys again. And though he says that his people, what he wants are the masses. So what is he doing? He doesn't have faith anymore in the people that he wants to now mix. So people will say, like Keyama has been saying that Obi is a Trojan horse. Maybe he wants to sell out to the PDP. Which would be seismic for his own followers.
In all of this, it goes to show the electoral value Obi, the person of Nyesom Wike has. Yes. It goes to show the quality he has that a lot of politicians want to tap from.
What is that quality? Some people say that is it the crowd? Or
the money?
Or what some people from my own part of the country call the okukus.
Or the crude. Or the crowd or the crude.
Crowd or the crude.
Or the okukus. Or the talking cricket. Or the cados.
That's the value. That's the value that they are talking about, that people want to associate with. And because it's very crucial and critical in our elections. You can't deny that fact.
He said they say I have only one vote. He said I agree. He said, but
and he knows, he understands that.
I know, yeah.